You're 9 to 5. You're working full-time hours to telling other people they don't need to work 9 to 5. Like, you're doing the exact opposite of what you're telling people if they just bought your course to do. And like, so I think, like, can't anyone else see like the irony or how funny this is? And then when I start talking to people, a woman spent 1,997. It was heavily discounted from 30 grand to buy a product launch course.
Hang on a second. It was 1,997 and it was discounted from 30 grand.
Yeah,
that is fucking amazing.
Every price was 1,997 at that event. And then I just said to her, so she ran up and bought it. I said, what, like, you know, what's your business? Because I've not got one. I mean, but it's a product launch. You've just bought a product launch course. And she's like,
yo, welcome to Paul Mort Talks Shit. And today I am talking shit with Mr. Mike. Remember when I asked you about your surname?
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was, like Winnet.
That's my stage name.
I love it. Is it really a stage name?
Yeah, it's not my real actual surname.
No fucking way.
Yeah, it's a funny story behind it. Well, I say it's funny, you might not laugh, it might be shit. But there's a story behind it, whether it's good or bad.
I'm very excited about this because my story about hearing about Mike was I had an advert out for my book on Facebook, and as usual, if it's not someone telling me I should kill myself or some kind of mad shit, I'm coming to your house or something like that, one guy said to me, I can't wait for the entrepreneur, he tagged the Facebook page or something, to get a hold of you.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, fucking good luck with that, because there's nothing you can say about me that I haven't already said. And then I went and looked it out, and I was like, wow, this is fucking cool. Yeah. So, and I heard you say this just yesterday on a podcast. If you had to explain who Mike Winnet is, what do you do? I love the way you said it as well.
Yeah, it's just...
What do you do now?
I would say I'm a professional ad clicker. So if I see someone post an ad claiming that they can make me financially free in 90 days, 6 months, or become a millionaire through whatever fucking passive income stream they want, I will click that ad, I will pay and do their course, and then just record my journey and my real results. Yeah. So that's it. I just basically put their bullshit to the test, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Here's the amazing thing about what Mike does. I've probably clicked all of those ads, bought the course, and actually not done them. Yeah. And I bet there's so many people that have done that. I often say I reckon I've spent at least 6 figures on courses and not even fucking opened them.
But I would say you've probably got the exact same results that I've got from actually doing them. So
I love it.
By you not doing them and me doing them, I've just wasted 2 years to find out they're bullshit. And you've just...
At least I've saved the time.
Yeah.
I've lost the money, but I've saved the fucking time.
Yeah, well, I've lost 500 grand on this.
Holy shit, bro.
Yeah.
All right. There we go. We've got some real fucking...
£500,000 English pounds spent on other people's courses.
English pounds. And how much have you made back?
Maybe 32 grand.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm in the red.
Shit.
By a lot more than my accountant thinks is a good idea.
Well, dude, at least you can claim it back, right?
Yeah, well...
In fact, I've known some gurus say, and guess what? You can claim the VAT back on it. Yeah. You can claim the VAT back on this. As if that's your best fucking sales pitch. So, Mike, how the fuck did you end up just being the guy who does people's courses, does them, and realises that they're shit?
So I had a legit business that I set up with some of my friends in 2015. Yeah. And then...
Oh, what? I thought it was way older than that.
No.
So you did that whole thing... When did you sell it?
In June 2017.
Holy shit, dude, you did not fuck around with that business.
So no investors, like, came up with the idea, took it to market, launched it, scaled it, and then sold that business for £8 million in 2017 June.
My fucking guy. You're the second person that's ever got it. It's like a Paul Hollywood handshake, that.
What is it?
Tyson Fury got one when he said, I just knocked Deontay Wilder the fuck out. And you just got one for telling me about that.
Yeah.
That's fucking
So
sick.
we did that. And then, being a working class lad, we're not taught how to handle money or whatever, when we're at school. So I thought, like, I know a little bit about property. Everyone says you should get into property. Yes. I know a little bit about stocks and shares. Yeah. But every time I turn on a YouTube video to find out what I should be investing in, people keep telling me I'm missing out on dropshipping, on affiliate marketing, on Forex trading. Yes. And all these 22-year-old lads are driving Lambos. And here I am, at the time, 34, a bloke that actually employed staff, got a building, marketed myself, worked 16 hours a fucking day, 6 days a week.
Yeah.
I must have done it all wrong if they've got better results than me in 90 days. So... partly it was curiosity. I just thought, what if there is something in this? I don't think it will make me financially free, but what if there is a little bit of money. Let me research it.
Well, listen, everyone would like to make easy fucking money, right?
Yeah.
All of us, but want that path of least resistance. Like, I'm like, can I really do that? If I give you that much money, you can turn that into money for me.
Exactly. And even though you know it's probably 99% wrong, I find that people fall into two categories. They're too lazy to do it anyway, so even if it did work, they would fail.
Yes.
Or it's bullshit.
Yes.
So it's one of them two things. And I thought, well, I'm probably a good indicator of someone that has got the commitment and knowledge and experience of running my own business. Yeah. So if this is bullshit, I would be a good indicator for other people to say it is bullshit, because I'm probably a little bit further along the process.
And it's not going to be down to you not doing the work.
Yeah, I'll do the fucking work.
That would be like... That would be, and we were talking about this before, like, it's easy to say, oh, well, it didn't work because you didn't do the work.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't work because you didn't.
Yeah, and the mad thing is as well, by the way, and this is a big thing, where most of these gurus are teaching you a step-by-step process to follow their way to success. So it's
the
like...
blueprint.
Yeah. In real business, when I sold my business, they paid me millions of pounds to not compete with them for 2 years. Do you see what I mean? Because... Why would I teach you what I do, and then you become my competitors? You turn your customers into competitors. It doesn't make sense.
I had to do this with the supplement company as well. We had to sign a non-compete to say that we weren't going to start another supplement company.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because that's how real business works. But guess what? Caleb, the 23-year-old Forex trader, like, he's trying to teach you...
Dude, Caleb, I love that.
Do you know what I mean?
Who came up with that name? That's amazing.
Oh, but it's like...
That is legit as well.
There is a legit one.
Yeah.
Caleb Maddox. He's an absolute gimp. But him...
Oh, dude, I know you mean that. He's not even 18, him, is he? That
know.
little mad American bastard.
Yeah.
He is mental.
But he talks in sound bites as well. He's off his head, isn't he?
He's got ADD, him.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a handful.
Hey?
Yeah. Sorry, mate.
Most people have.
I've rudely interrupted you.
That's all right. So, yeah, it was just a case of they paid me not to work for 2 years because they were worried that I might do it again. So I just thought, I wanted to find, is there anybody online that's unbiased and can tell me whether these things work?
Yeah.
If people said it was bullshit, I thought, well, you might just be lazy.
Yeah.
And anybody that was telling me it worked was probably selling the thing anyway. That's what I found. People fell into two categories. Yes. So I just thought, why don't I make content that I wish I could have watched?
Yes.
Which was an unbiased review on these courses. And then I started doing that. And then I've just ended up down a fucking rabbit hole. And here I am.
Yeah, dude, it's mad. So before I get into that kind of middle portion, what do you do now? I mean, I know we're in this podcast. Like, what does work look like for Mike now?
So at the moment, there's three things on the burner. So we've got the podcast studio, which is this. You're the first person to ever use this.
Thank you for that.
It's all right. So anyone in Warrington looking for a podcast studio, come here. No, so we've got this place.
All surrounding areas, Mike. I would travel to come here. Like if I was in Manchester,
Liverpool, the WA postcode. So we've got this place where we want to offer podcast production. We can do podcast management for you, or you can just rent the space out. There's this. We've got, we'd make video content for businesses. Mm-hmm. So we've got a video production company. And then we've also launching something which is like a good habits podcast where we interview experts in their field to give sort of like one tip in their field to improve people's businesses.
Yeah, nice.
Sounds a bit mad like, but so really we do all that kind of thing, but none of it makes anywhere near as much money as Forex trading and drop shipping and all these other things that we do on the sideline.
Dude, I love it. And do you know what I love about all those things that you said there sound like the things that you like love to do?
Yeah.
That are fun as fuck.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And do you think that's a big thing in business? Like it's got to be some fucking fun. You seem like a guy that just likes, not just likes, but everything that you do seems to have a bit of a fucking fun element to it.
Well, weirdly, and I say this, you know, people say like follow your passion.
Yes.
I was not passionate about online learning. So in my last business, I didn't know anything about it. I just realised it was fucking broken and there was an opportunity there to make a better product.
I think that helped you not knowing anything about it.
Yeah, like weirdly, it's like you're naive, and if you harness that in the right way, like if I knew how hard it was going to be and the impact of, like, I might not have done it, but you like, I don't know if you think the same thing, and this is maybe a bad way to judge anything.
Yeah.
If someone's done something and I think they're a dickhead, I just think, well, if he's done it, I can do it. Like, why can't? Like, do you know what I mean? That's how I think of things. And
well, look at Joe Rogan gets 100 million off Spotify for getting stoned with his mates.
Yeah, exactly.
Talking shit for 4 fucking hours.
Yeah, so if he can do, if he can run a podcast and makes hundreds of thousands of pounds with it, like surely that anyone can do that if you put in the graph, what do you call it? You learn how to do it properly, the consistency. You put in the graph, like you can achieve anything.
Yeah,
which goes against obviously a lot of these courses, which are trying to shortcut everything. So I just thought,
hacks.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is. I was talking about this with my wife yesterday, actually. There was someone hacking through a jungle. It was that Zac Efron thing. You know, that Zac Efron thing on Netflix. It's quite good, that, actually.
Yeah,
it's quite good. And he was hacking his way through a jungle. My wife said, why did they say the word fucking hack when it literally means just fucking chop things to bits?
Yeah.
It's mad, that, isn't it? All right, so one question that I wanted to ask, right, was, did any of... Actually, it's not a yes or a no, because he said don't bring a yes or a no. Which courses, like, worked? You don't have to mention any names or anything like that, but which courses were you like, actually, you know what, this one's decent?
There's absolutely none, and I mean zero, that have got anywhere near the results they promise.
Yes.
And that's none. And that isn't through want of trying, effort, time, or anything like that. We throw money at things.
Yeah.
None of them have worked. However, out of all my investments that I've made, the ones that have done the two best ones have been, and again, it goes to show what I said at the very beginning, property. Yes. Like, I'm making money through property. Yes. No, I'm not financially free through property. It's not replaced my income or my salary, but property and stocks and shares, even with the COVID-19 and pandemic. They are the two things, but isn't it funny how they are long-term investments that seem to work rather than nothing has worked in 90 days.
Well, and they're both kind of up and down as well, I bet.
Yeah. So it's almost like, and again, I'm not trying to short stuff, like say Forex trading or even stocks and shares where you're trying to be a smart ass. Yeah. You're trying to buy low, sell high and do it within a day.
Yeah.
I just put my money into them things and left them. And they're the only things that have made money.
Yeah. And you could have done them without the courses, I bet. Both of
100%, yeah. I could have done them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's equal as well. Like, if you want to know about investing, go and buy a book by fucking Warren Buffett. You can go and download his letters that he produces every year to tell you what he's investing in.
You don't need an online course.
I don't need you to just tell me, oh, here you go, here's my 5 secret tips, and it's 1997. Yeah. The pricing always ends in a 7. Does your price end in a 7?
Don't think it does.
Is that why you got shit on your advert? So I get that all the time now.
997. No, I got shit on my advert because I tried the, you'll love this one, I tried the free plus shipping thing.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the free plus shipping. Yeah. The book's free, you just pay for the shipping.
Yeah.
Basically, you pay for the book to be printed and shipped.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did all that thing. Yeah. I did all that shit.
But this is a mad thing now. So I made that video not for people to go and post on other people's adverts, but I just made it because I thought it was a humorous observation because I saw so many people use the exact same language, backstories, tactics. I just thought, isn't this funny? I'll just put a video out. Now I get tagged into probably 150 things every week.
Yeah.
And it's like as if I'm used as like a bully on the playground. Like, oh,
well, James Smith, who we're talking about before, James gets that as well. Yeah. So the funny thing is, James is my friend, and one of my friends will post one of them things we talked about before, which I'm not going to mention. And James will get tagged on one of my friends. So I've got a friend getting tagged on another friend's post. When are you going to call this cunt out?
Yeah, I get that. I've got a friend in Warrington, and she knows who she is, and she says like, me and you should hate each other because I do a lot of the things that you take the piss out of.
Yeah.
But like, I know you.
Yeah.
Like, you're my mate, but then she gets threatened with me all the time.
Well, Ange is probably, if you know her, you probably know that she's kind of the real deal, right?
Yeah.
If you know her, and she's doing those things, well, if you know her, she's legit. So I love it when a guy from my town buys my book or signs up to one of my courses. Because I'm like, if he's from my town, like, that always means a lot to us. Because I'm like, well, it's a small fucking town. Warrington's quite a small place, right?
It's the same here. Like, I would say, like, we make obviously content for people's businesses so they can get seen and stuff.
Yeah.
If I had an option where someone said you could only have 50 clients, I would have 50 clients in Warrington. Like, I'd rather do it for my own town. Yes. And it's a weird thing maybe to say.
Yeah.
That means more to me than having a fucking contract with someone.
It's weird, isn't it? It is weird. Yeah. I say this all the time.
And also as well, we can say that, I can say that because I know what we're doing is right and benefits them. So I don't mind bumping into you in the pub.
Yes.
And you're a client of mine or we work together.
Yes.
Whereas a lot of these gurus, they do the fucking spread the marketing. They don't care if they've got clients all over the place and they're ripping them off because they never have to see these people. Big difference.
They disappear after the events all the time. Anyway.
Exactly, yeah.
I've been to all those fucking events. I remember going to one. It's probably about 2016. It's the let's just call him the guy that in a movie is portrayed as snorting coke off a hooker's arsehole. Yeah. I went to his event and dude, within 5 minutes, he had people standing up saying, "I am committed. I invest in myself." And I left after an hour. Yeah. And the worst part is I signed up for the fucking course as well. I dropped $3,000 because I was like, this day is just going to be, because he clearly has some knowledge of selling, right? Some knowledge of selling. Even if it's
a straight line selling.
The straight line, that's what it is. It goes in one direction. So I thought, I'm going to buy this course, but I'm not going to sit through this fucking pitch fest. Yeah. You know how I know? The telltale sign for me should have been that the event was like 97 quid
Yeah.
for like the whole day.
Yeah.
That's one of the...
And was there other speakers on before him?
Well,
Or was
I
it just
didn't make
him?
it that. No,
Yeah.
he was on first, but I didn't make it beyond him.
Oh, didn't you? Because normally they have, especially in a success resource event, I get loads of shit from them. I get threatened with legal stuff from them a lot.
Yeah.
But they don't say
That's
when
free
they're
promotion. It's free promotion for success
Oh,
resources.
they need all the help they can get. If you look at their accounts. Yeah, if you look at their accounts, they could do as a hand. But
Really?
so, yeah, if it wasn't for the Tony Robbins tickets propping that business up, they're fucked.
Yeah.
And I did say that.
Yeah.
If they want to send me another letter.
I love it. Success resources also if you want to sponsor the show.
Do you know what? A weird thing about Success Resource, I never said this on camera before. They actually got in contact with me when I took a couple of videos taking the piss out of their events because I've been to them. I went one undercover, and they said, "Look, you're obviously talented making content. How can we work together to make sure this doesn't happen again?"
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I went, if you want, and I genuinely said this, if you want me to come in and tell you what I think you're doing wrong and why,
Yes.
I would happily do that. Not work together so I can work for you.
Yes.
But like, it's a criticism. If you take what I'm saying on board, you'll probably have a better company in my mind.
Yes.
And they never got back to me. So they contacted me, spoke to me on the phone and said, can we work together? And I was like, well, I don't want to work with you, but I can tell you why I've said these things about you in the video.
Yeah, and they weren't interested.
And you could just, and they didn't want to know then.
Really?
Yeah, weird.
They must get it. Do you know what I think about them now? You're saying that. I bet they get a lot of bounced payments. Like people that are so fucking desperate to make something work, but maybe aren't willing to do the work and put on a credit card, and then they must get so many fucking bounced payments. That's probably why they're fucking failing so bad.
Yeah. But it's, some of the speakers there pay to be on stage.
They have paid to be on stage.
Yeah. So I'm Mike Winnet, and I've got a property course in fucking Warrington.
Yeah.
I'll pay Success Resources to appear on stage and then split any sales I make on the day 50%, 50-50. And I know that because one of their speakers has told me.
Shit.
That's how it works. So basically, that's how they can afford the headline speaker.
So the other speakers who they position as an authority have paid to be on their stage.
Yeah, pay to play. Which
So
is
they
bullshit,
can
isn't
pay.
it?
Yeah, that's crazy.
And it was actually at a Success Resources event that I was at that then made me decide to do the Entrepreneur Formula, because it was the worst event I've ever been to in my life.
Was it? And why did you go to that event? Were you just looking at what were you going to do the Entrepreneur series before then, or
no? So it was actually being sat there that day that it blew my mind. I was sat there and there was a woman sat next to me, and I was thinking, this is funny to me. Because not funny because that sounds a bit arrogant, but I mean, I've just sold my business.
You've never been in that environment, really.
Yeah,
because you've been too busy.
Well, here you go. So yeah, like I didn't know.
I think you get addicted to that. That would probably still be me. Like I buzz on that live event experience.
Yeah, of course.
Like I love it. I've consumed most of Robbins' material, and as soon as he's done the live event, I'll probably go.
Yeah.
I'll probably not speak to anyone the whole time I'm there, but I'll probably go just for the fucking buzz.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Just for that.
There's loads of people that do that, like fans of that environment and the company.
Yeah.
So they'll go to any live speaker and they'll turn up and they'll spend all day there.
Yeah.
But
so you went there and...
So I went there. Like
this
the
is
weird
weird.
thing, and I always say this, so
Did they make you touch noses with anyone?
High five was a lot and bang on your chest and
I believe I can fly. Did that
mad.
come on?
Yeah. It's
Oh
mad,
my God.
But, so... Like, when I had my business, I didn't know. I'd never heard of Gary Vee. It might sound mad now. In 2015, not so Gary Vee was. I'd never heard of him. I didn't know who Grant Cardone was, Ty Lopez. I was too busy actually growing a business to understand this world
I call
existed.
this, right, I think people, especially business people, get upset. Like, there's a lot of consumption.
Yeah.
You were busy creating, not consuming.
Yeah.
Do you know, I get asked what books are you reading right now? I'm like, this year... I've probably read one personal development book.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I've got so much shit that I haven't done that I already know.
Yeah.
Why would I just was like, fucking, I'm not listening to any more fucking audiobooks this year. I'm not listening to any book. I'm just going to fucking do what needs doing.
Well, if you read one book and implemented one thing from it, it's probably better than reading 100 books and doing fuck all with it.
And a lot of them are the fucking same anyway, especially personal development ones.
Yeah.
They're all based on them. What's the fucking how to win friends and influence people? They're all based on that shit anyway.
That's what they're all like, aren't they? They're all copying each other.
Yeah.
But it was at that event where it blew my mind that there was people on stage telling you should quit the 9 to 5. You can work 4 hours a day. And I'm sat there thinking, the irony is, your full-time job, your 9 to 5, you're working full-time hours to telling other people they don't need to work 9 to 5. Like, you're doing the exact opposite of what you're telling people if they just bought your course to do. And like, so I think, like, can't anyone else see like the irony or how funny this is? And then when I start talking to people, a woman spent 1997. It was heavily discounted from 30 grand to buy a product launch course.
Hang on a second. It was 1997, and it was discounted from 30 grand.
Yeah,
that is fucking amazing.
Every price was 1997 at that event, and then I just said to her, so she ran up and bought it. I said, "What, like, what's your business?" She goes, "I've not got one." I mean, but it's a product launch. You've just bought a product launch course, and she was like, "Yeah, so 3-day boot camp." And I was like, "But you've not even got a product to launch. Why have you just spent that money?" And then she started telling me, "Oh, I hate my job. I think I'm undervalued." And I realised, oh shit, this is the type of person that say, not everybody, but there's a lot of people there looking for an answer, and they think that some stranger from America that's come over here to fill a fucking travel lodge on a Saturday for 14 hours is there to save them. They can't see.
Was the event like low cost as well?
This event was actually event was actually decent. Obviously Gary Vee was over there, but he literally flew in for his 30 minutes and then fucked off. Weirdly, I ended up speaking to Gary and he invited me to VaynerMedia, and that's how that came about. So in a weird way, as much as I criticise Success Resources, they gave me the entrepreneur formula because they had to sit through that shit for fucking 3 days.
What was it, 3 days then?
2 days, but I had to like travel and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then I obviously met Gary Vee, went over there, and he's a weird guy in real life. I don't know if you've ever met him.
I've had him on my podcast in 2014.
Oh, really?
How mad's that? On Boxing Day or some shit.
Yeah. But he's being in his office was like, it was one, inspiring in some ways, like, oh fucking hell, if we could recreate a 10th of this in Warrington, we'll do all right. But equally, just like a machine. He had people lined up in the offices, and it's a bit like, I've never actually spoke about this, so people paid $15,000 to have a 10-minute meeting with Gary Vee in his office. It's called a 4D, the actual thing. Right. We didn't. He gave us that for free, and we went over and saw him. We didn't pay for it. But it's clever. The setup there is, see, Gary Vee now is like the Richard Branson of this generation. He's the social media guy, so they want to go in, and if you have your picture taken Gary Vee, you put it on social media, you're happy with yourself, aren't you?
Use it as a fucking Facebook ad. Most people
brilliant,
don't like to know Gary Vee.
Exactly. But most people have paid for that. So you then pitch your business to Gary Vee, and you've paid $15,000.
Yeah.
One or two things is going to happen. He thinks it's a shit idea, he's not interested, and he just goes, oh, thanks very much. He's got his footage for his YouTube channel. He gives his little sound bite. There's his clip. I've inspired a new entrepreneur. If your idea is good, he then offers, we could do all your marketing. Do you know what? Why don't we go into partnership? And then he pretty much says, give me 10% of your business for $15,000. Or so he's given them back their own money to have a stake in. And that's why Gary Vee was in the room when Uber was made.
Jeez.
So think of it as Dragon's Den, only he's getting paid 15 grand a pitch.
Fuck me.
But he's got these back to back. So when I'm in his office, we're sat at the end. Gary's here to see you now.
I've brought you a cap, by the way, Mike.
Have you?
I've got you a cap, I'm going to go get the cap for Mike. Got him a cap.
Okay.
We might be able to stretch to a t-shirt as well. Or a bottle of water, maybe.
That's it. But it's mad, isn't it? But it's just a weird thing. So, and then in my head, I'm thinking, you've got 120 grand today from just listening to 10 people's business ideas, and then you've offered to invest in the 2 or 3 that are decent.
Yeah.
But what you can invest in? You can invest the money you just made today.
Yeah.
And then it was a mad environment.
Wow.
But we could have put a video out about Gary Vee, which showed him in a completely different light.
Yeah.
The person we told him we thought was the worst entrepreneur that I've come across.
Yeah.
He said, I can't stand that guy. I don't like him. Yes. Let's work together. Let's get it on Netflix as long as it's about him.
Yeah,
right.
Really?
And I was saying, I'm more interested in the process that people can then recognize and then can say, oh, he's also using that process. He's a bad guy.
Yeah.
Rather than saying,
he's a bad guy.
Paul's the bad guy. So then you're the scapegoat. So everyone thinks anything you do is bad. It's almost like, no, here are the tactics.
Yes.
You should now.
You know, I agree completely with that. Like going after the tactics, going after the strategy, going after the lies rather than an individual human.
Because then it becomes, you've got a vendetta about it. Like, because to be honest as well, many of these tactics, there's nothing wrong with them. They work as long as it's an ethical product targeted at the right person, and it does give you the results if you do the work. It's when you're targeting someone that isn't the right person with fake examples and unethical examples.
So you're selling essentially like a fucking pig with lipstick on it.
Yeah.
Or a shit rolled in glitter. It's still a shit once I open the Kajabi site.
So like that's the problem more than like the tactics you send. Like scarcity's fine if it's real scarcity. Testimonials are great if they're real testimonials. If you're a guru, and I've seen this at a live event, and you tell everyone in the audience to get out their phones, go on Trustpilot and leave a 5-star review for your course that they've not even bought yet.
Ah, okay.
You're a shit house, aren't you?
Shit, yeah. That's naughty.
But now on Trustpilot, you've now got 136 5-star reviews, and they've all give a recommendation for a course they've never done before. So now when people do their research, they say, "Oh, he's got 136."
Course is great. Yeah. Shit.
But it's bullshit. But now what you've done is you've hid the real 1-star review from people that have paid their money and can't get the results.
Right.
So and that's one tip I always say is, whenever you're like doing due diligence on any of these courses, if you look at the times and dates that 5-star reviews were left, they'll always be around the same date and the same time, because that's when you know they've had a live event and they've asked for 5-star reviews.
Shit.
So there's mad things that I discovered actually during the last 2 years of actually going to all these events and stuff.
Yeah.
But so Gary V, he's there telling me it's got to be about him. Yes, I can't stand the guy. He's the bad guy. He gives this whole industry a bad name. Fast forward fucking 5 months, there's a picture of Gary V and that guy he's told me he can't stand in his office, arm round each other, big things coming, and he's done fucking events with him.
What?
And that just made me think, like, even you, Gary, it's like, come on, mate, you're meant to be to many of these people like the good guy,
the no bullshit guy.
But I think he squares it away as, well, I don't sell a course, so I'm not the same as these, but you're the headline speaker that attracts these people to get sold to by these entrepreneurs.
Shit,
so he's mad guy. But so thanks to Success Resources, I've experienced all these things.
I love it. So you did that 2-day thing, and it was like, fucking hell, this is nuts.
Yeah.
What was the next?
So I went away, and I just thought, so there was some wild claims by some of the people I've seen on stage today. Yeah. Let me just go and do a bit of research on them to see if it's true, and then...
So did you not buy anything at the...
Nothing. No.
Dude, well played.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember when I first started going to events, I went to one in the States. I must have bought every speaker's product.
Yeah.
And I think I've done something with one of them.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, because I buy into that whole buzz. I get... Because they get you through all these emotions and that. And you didn't buy anything
Nothing
at all.
How
many speakers was there?
12.
Holy shit, mate. Well played.
Because
did every single one of them pitch?
Absolutely. The 2 didn't. So one was Dan Priestley, who weirdly had on my podcast. And he used to be like that. So he used to do that, saw that, wow, it wasn't right. And he's kind of like, the last 10 years, completely changed what he does. And he's kind of like the anti-entrepreneur guy, almost like a recovered. Use the same tactics. But he's a really good guy to listen to. Yeah, he'd be good on your podcast, actually. Dan's got a lot of good stuff to say.
Sick.
His company's called Dent.
Okay.
Really, really good. And he said something really interesting, by the way. It's easier to take someone that's good to great than it is to take someone that's got no skill set to good. So he said, so why are you targeting that bottom tier of people?
Yeah.
So his business now, you can't sort of join and he can't help you unless you've got a minimum experience in business and a minimum amount of money in your business account.
Dude, that's cool.
Because he said, like, I could sit there all day firing Facebook ads at anybody that's once liked a Grant Cardone video.
Yeah.
But they're probably not going to be successful.
Do you know
at
what's
running
interesting
business.
about that? I joined a program. I was in a program called Strategic Coach for 4 years, and with them, you had to send them. You had to get a letter from your accountant showing that you paid yourself 6 figures a year.
Yeah.
Which I thought was, you know what, that's quite cool.
Yeah.
Like I think theirs was just a guarantee that there wasn't any really needy people in the fucking room.
Yeah.
In a mastermind scenario.
But it's just that as well. And I always say this, and weirdly I've said this to one of the entrepreneurs that really doesn't like what I do, but I actually had a conversation with him saying, you've got the bones of an amazing business.
Yeah.
If you just shut up shop for a few months and just provided the people that have paid with the service that was promised to them, they would then become advocates for what you do. And that... So obviously
you'd then be able to get some real results.
Yeah, and there'd be a short-term dip in terms of sign-ups, but then it would be more of an exclusive business, and the results would speak for themselves, and you wouldn't need to spend 60% of your time fighting legal cases, trying to bury bad news,
refunds,
exactly. Yeah. So it's almost like just do the right thing, and it normally pays off long-term.
Yeah.
Where a lot of these people are just like, what's the next craze? Oh, it's fucking crypto mining.
Yeah.
I'm going to launch a crypto mining course. Oh, podcasts are doing well. I'm going to do a how to monetize your podcast course.
Yeah.
You're not good at any of these things. You're good at marketing and you're good at selling courses. Yeah. So why don't you just fucking do a course in marketing and selling courses? And that's my issue, really.
Yeah. Yeah. But so Success Resources, we've got 12 speakers, 2 of them haven't pitched and you haven't bought anything, which, by the way, mate, I feel like fist bumping you again, but you can't get 2 in one fucking show.
Not with
no
COVID.
Fucking chance.
Social distance.
Yeah. Shit. I do that fucking weird elbow thing. Yeah. So we did that, and then we got home, and then Entrepreneur just was like, fuck it, let's
I was
do
just
this.
like, that is mad.
Video I want to make.
Yeah, it was like, that's mad. I've just listened to the same pitch, pretty much word for word, of 12 people.
Was there at the start of the talk, was there like a Sob story.
Sob story, yeah.
My opening line is, I
you.
haven't got a fucking sob story here. I'm like, my mum and dad have never broke up. I've never lived on the streets. I've never been bankrupt. I've got both my legs.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, but I'm giving on my whole fucking stage thing where I say, but I can't stop fucking swearing.
Yeah.
So that's the only sob story you're going to get. All the sob story, and then you get...
I was just like, extraordinary opportunity. I took that leap of faith.
Bonus 1, bonus 2. Come to the back of the room now, we'll do this.
Exactly the same.
Yeah.
So then I just thought, who were the funniest ones? That's probably the worst ones. Let me just research them. Did a bit of research on, thought, fucking hell, this is mad. I'm now going to follow them around the country to each of their events to see if I notice anything. I know, I'm a grown man doing this for a fucking job. Because I didn't have anything else to do.
What was everyone else saying about you when you were doing it? Because obviously afterwards it's gone fucking mental.
Yeah.
But like while you were doing it, what was the general fucking consensus?
I don't get why are you doing this? You're a real businessman, and now you're deciding to go and follow a fucking Canadian guy around the country to like speak in Birmingham, Manchester, London, to an event you've said shit. Like, why'd you keep going? And that's when it blew my mind, and I started seeing weird things. So because I then started to follow around the worst ones, I started to see some of the unethical things that they did at each event, like, you know, ask for the 5-star reviews and put your hands up and all them kind of things. But the maddest thing was, I started seeing the same people. So the girl that signed us in at one event on reception, when we were in London, was then the girl that got up and ran to the back of the room onto stage to say she was going to sign up when we were in Manchester.
Oh, that is naughty.
But I've clocked this. So then it's made me think, oh shit, this is even darker and a bit more twisted and a bit more unethical than I first thought. So there are even people in the crowd are plants. Like, they are people that pretend to get excited and run to the back room. They work for these gurus and they work for these companies to get the crowd whipped up.
Shit, dude.
That's not good marketing. That's you just being a cunt.
Yeah.
Like, you're a sly bastard. If you have to rely on plants pretending to be excited customers.
Naughty. Yeah.
And there she was. And then she was at the next event. And then, like, it starts to get to the point where they start recognising me now. Because not many people would go to the same event. Yet? Exactly.
You haven't bought yet?
But it was just mad and it's the same thing, they'd be working the room, and that's when I started talking to people, and some of the testimonials at these events are actually people that have paid to be a testimonial to give their businesses exposure. They've not had the results that the guru's on the stage, so they've never done the course and got the results. Yeah. They just know that they would get exposure from speaking there.
Shit.
And I just started thinking, this is really, really fucked up. So that's when I decided to write the actual script down and record the script and then put it out. So this is the word for word script that they use in the order they use it, and this is how they get you to buy.
Yeah. Buy now, not just buy now, innit?
Buy now. And but even that with this, like the NLP, they're saying buy now throughout, like saying buy now, you'll realize that this is not an extraordinary opportunity. Buy now, that, you know, you might have some reservations and all this stuff.
Yeah.
I did that, put that video out. It was only like my 4th ever video.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it did nothing for like 4 months. It did like 20,000 views.
Yeah.
And then weirdly, I woke up one day and then it had done 10,000 views overnight, and I got 1,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. And it did 10,000 views a day for the next 2 weeks, and I got 1,000 subscribers a day for the next 2 weeks.
Shit.
I don't know what had triggered the algorithm. I can't put my finger on that.
Yeah.
Though I tell clients I do know how that happens, so I can do it for their business.
It's probably that guy tagging me.
Honestly, I don't know what happened, but it just blew up, and then all of a sudden the video got taken down with a copyright strike from a entrepreneur.
Oh shit.
Brussel Runson, I'll call him, from Dick Funnels.
Oh yeah.
Got the video taken down, and weirdly, it was that video being taken down, it caused more interest in it. So it kind of had...
Of course it did, yeah.
I think they call it the Streisand effect or something.
Didn't you do the video that YouTube banned? Didn't you do that? Like, did when you put it back out again, did you do like the video that YouTube banned?
Yeah, so what I then did, I spent 2 weeks, because there was a few things. What's mad is, if I'd known so many people have watched it, we're going to watch it, I would have put more effort into it. And there was a few things that I did, because it was really for my own sanity.
Yeah.
This is what I've seen. This might be interesting to some people.
Yeah.
And then when loads of people started watching it and leaving like little comments, oh, what about this and what about that? I could kind of address some of the things that I left out, because I didn't think...
Yeah.
Like, listen, like, when I say scarcity as a bad thing, and then someone goes, well, what about Nike when they bring out limited edition trainers? Well, it's fucking Nike, number one. They're not promising that those limited edition trainers are going to make you a millionaire in 90 days. There's a big difference between a tangible product and fucking dreams sold to you. But also, as well, if it's one of 150, it's a legitimate product. If it's a limited product and it's a fucking PDF, He's not running out of PDFs. He's not printing them, is he? Do you know what I mean? There's a big difference. But I didn't think I had to say this to people. I just thought some people have got like a level of intelligence where they could work out.
Yeah.
I don't mean that literally. He ends his price in a 7. Does that mean he's a entrepreneur? No, not every price that ends in a 7 means it's a scam, you fucking idiot.
Yeah.
It's just a humorous observation that most of their pricing ends in a 7. That's it. It's a humorous observation.
Yeah.
It's not fucking gospel.
Yeah.
No wonder you get scammed all the time.
Yeah.
You can't fucking think for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway,
Dude, what was the original objective with the entrepreneur thing? Like, what was the original thing? Was it just fun?
It was just make something that I would have enjoyed watching. So it was just I thought it was funny. Yeah. I thought it was mildly interesting, funny. That was it. Like, isn't this funny how they say all the same thing?
Yes.
Like, how fucked up is this?
Yeah.
Then I started getting like hate from entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
And then that's when the whole, because I never mentioned at any point, none before any of this point, I've actually had my own business. I don't have any reference to my own business online.
Yeah,
I don't have any social media in my real name.
Well, dude, we were looking for that. I was like, dude, find out what Mike's thing was. And
yeah, but I didn't, because guess what? When you sell a business, like, they don't want you to
talk about it.
Exactly. So that's how real business works a lot of the time.
Yes.
So then the hate I would get would be, you're just an unsuccessful troll, like pissing on, like, from successful people.
Yeah.
And I will admit, and you might do sometimes, YouTube comments don't bother me, depending on what mood I'm in.
Oh, dude,
do you know what I mean?
Dude, 100%.
It's like some days
when my energy's low. Dude, we've had I had 2 death threats last year.
I've had that, yeah.
Death threats I've had.
From people, 10Xs.
People threatening me. Was it? People threatening me. Now, Mac's a cage fighter, so I just say, don't come to my house, come to my office, I'll fight you there.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're totally right. When my energy's low, that's when I'll tend to react.
Yeah.
When my energy's high, I'm too busy doing shit to even look at the comments.
Same here.
Yeah. You're spending your fuck somewhere else.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? It's like, it's a weird thing, because it's like, I say, like, I'm not asked about YouTube comments. Like, I'm probably not asked about 99% of them.
Yeah.
Like, 99% of the time.
Yeah.
But then there's some days when you're pissed off about something, and it's like, but then I just think, why am I explaining myself to some fucking mong?
Yeah.
Basically.
And the thing is, it's Paul Mort talk shit. You can say whatever the fuck you want, mate.
Moron.
Moron.
Yeah.
What do you know what's weird about YouTube though is that the comments of, like, it's not like Facebook where you can look at someone's profile.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, we do that.
Yeah.
Do you know what's funny to me? There's a direct correlation between how much hate I get and how many people have a picture of a dog as their profile picture.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, a dog that can type, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yesterday I had a guy who had a picture of a swan as his profile picture. I'm like, wow, dude, a swan, how have you typed with those fucking feathers,
Yeah,
man?
it's just mad.
It's amazing.
The one I get as well, I bet there's a lot of broke people in your comment section. It's like, but you're here as well.
Yeah.
You're here
It's mad,
commenting.
innit?
Like,
It's mad, isn't it?
But so then I ended up getting drawn out.
Yeah.
And it was almost like, well, who are you to say?
Ah, okay.
And then
so
I went,
there was no...
So there was no mention of my business. And then, and
Were you not even on LinkedIn then, or?
So I was on LinkedIn, but again, like, so people knew me as my old business, and then I did the name change. And
Was it the same account though?
Yeah, same account, just swapped over. And there's people that don't remember me as my old, like, what's mad is I get people that I've worked with before, or I tried to sell my old product to when I had a business, that talk to me now and say, like, oh, I kind of watch all your stuff, I'm a big fan of that. And I think, I've been in your office, like, I was trying to sell you, like, my fucking... Like, you can't remember, but then obviously it's a different name, and you know, you've spoke about different things for 2 years. But I forgot what I was saying. What was it?
You were saying that.
What's the train of thought? Yeah.
I'm the worst person ever. That's what I was saying, because I'm all over the fucking place as well. You were saying that.
Oh, they got drawn out.
Yes,
I ended up saying, I'm not saying this because I don't know how. Like, I've done the thing that your guru that you've never got success from.
I'm not a hater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm actually someone that's probably achieved. I could be on stage. I could be on stage now saying, "This is how you
this could be an exclusive.
Spot an opportunity, grow scale a business, and how you then exit a business for multiple millions.
Yes.
How to become a multi-millionaire in 2.5 years.
Yeah.
I could put out that course, and I know I could sell that course.
Yeah.
But here's the truth: if I could put it down into 7 fucking steps, I would be doing it now.
Yeah.
I can't do it for myself because there's so many variables outside of your control. Like when we sold our business, there was another business that was acquiring businesses at that time. You can't create that in the future. You can work hard and you can do the right things, but there's still an element of luck that's involved. And that is that somebody else is looking to purchase your business and values your business at that price at that time. Yeah. no amount of steps or courses or shortcuts or hacks can guarantee those results. So I couldn't sell you a course that I don't think would guarantee you results. I can tell you, like, you could sit in my office every day with me for 2 years and I can tell you day by day, step by step, exactly what I did. And even then, you still might not sell your business for 8 million quid. There's too many variables, right?
Yeah.
So that was my point. I could have been a entrepreneur.
And also, deep down, you probably know that a lot of people, even if you did have the steps, you're probably like, do you know what? Not everybody can do it.
Well, most people can't. Like the stats show, was it 0.2% of people in the world are millionaires?
Yeah.
So even, and I know this is a really crude way of doing it, 1 in 500 people will become a millionaire or are a millionaire in the world.
Yeah.
That's 0.2%.
Yeah.
If you are bothered by my video and you think I've stopped you pursuing your dream and you've let my video affect you and like shit on your dreams, you 100% are not in that 0.2%.
No.
Because like I said before, I didn't watch YouTube videos trying to motivate myself in how to run a business. I just went and fucking worked in a startup, learnt business for 6 years, felt confident enough to think I might be able to have a good crack at this, and then did it. Yeah. My learning was paid for. My learning was paid for by actually being in a startup business, learning about business every day, not paying some idiot 12 grand to teach me about business in 7 steps. Yeah. And that's all that anyone is saying. What is the alternative?
You know what's interesting, mate, that we're saying about this, a lot of these millionaires, none of them have any courses.
Yeah.
Because they're too busy doing the thing that they're a millionaire in.
I say, name the 5 or 4 or whatever most successful people in business in the world. And most people will always say the same ones. They'll still say Steve Jobs. Yeah. They might say Jeff Bezos. They might say Elon Musk. They say all these types of people. Mark Zuckerberg, Branson, whatever. Yeah. Number 1, do they sell you a course? No. Number 2, do they tell you they're doing it from 4 hours a day from their laptop on the beach? No. Are they still working a lot? Yes. Do they put in long hours? Are they constantly... Are they posting on social media trying to tell you how successful they are? No. So why, when you already know the answer and you already know that what underpins what they do is actually working really hard, spotting opportunities, owning the IP, owning their actual product, are you now trying to buy a course from Caleb that's telling you they're all wrong? You didn't know who Caleb was 2 days ago. Yeah. You typed in passive income on YouTube and now you're being targeted by Caleb and his mates for the next 2 weeks. Yeah. That becomes your reality. The real secret is, there is no secret. You already know the fucking answer. Yeah. Because you named 5 people that do exactly the opposite of what you think is going to work for you. So part of me, originally I wanted to help people, vulnerable people, and I thought it would help. But now, if you look at my DMs, and I get hundreds of them a week now saying, do you think this guru's legit? It's like, if you're asking that question, mate, you know the fucking answer. Yes. It's like, why are you trying to find out if he's legit? Just go and do something. Yeah. And it just does mean, like, sometimes I think, like, some of you deserve to be scammed now. If you've done this 7 times and it's still not worked, you're the problem.
I agree 100%.
And that sounds bad.
All these gurus, because a lot of the people, mate, you see this, a lot of the people, all these gurus are full of shit, these gurus are this. I'm like, well, you're the one. Like, you've done it on purpose. But there's a lot of people who are talking shit about loads of gurus. They're the ones that keep buying the courses. But
I'm not trying to fail either, by the way. Like, the difference is, I'm not trying to fail. Yes. I'm trying to make these things work. I can't go on forever. Money's fucking run out. But the mad thing is, it's like, if you've got to take some responsibility, and also as well, you're now doing the very thing that I'm trying to criticize. Like, you're now coming to me and wanting me to shortcut your answer to find out whether this is legit or not. It's like, I'm not a hero. I'm not your
guru.
Yeah. Like I'm not your guru. I'm not the anti-guru. I'm just someone that's like I'm a businessman. Yeah. And I've told you how I did it. I worked in a startup, and that's like, that's it. And people are like, well, can you just tell me how you did it? It's like, well, how many times do you need me to fucking say it? It's like, well, can I just pay for you to be a mentor? I get asked that now a lot. It's like, no. Yeah. Because I'm not a mentor. I'm a guy that runs a fucking business that makes money. Yeah. I've not got time to come down and, do you see what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Just does me head in, mate.
I do. Mate, so let's talk about actual business then, because we've got there'll be a lot of business owners listening in. What have been some of the biggest challenges that you've had in your business? Because it's easy to talk about all this fun stuff and all these wins and all that, but what have been some of the biggest challenges that you've had?
I think sometimes running a business is lonely, and people have got this misconception that you're like money grabbing, you're like capitalist or whatever, but I was probably the lowest paid person in my business for like 2 years. And sometimes it used to bother me when you'd hear staff saying that, they wanted more or whatever. Yeah. And in your head, you're thinking, I've paid myself $1,000 this month, or I've just paid enough to cover my bills. But you're there whinging about, like, you're earning 2.5 times more money than I'm earning, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
So there was that. It's lonely. But just finding right people that care about the thing as much as you care about. I don't know.
Almost impossible, that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's mad as well. So it's like, weirdly, the last 6 months of my business was pretty much babysitting for 60% of the time. Like, he doesn't want to work with her anymore. She's upset about him. But when there was 4 or 5 of you at the very beginning, you're like a band of brothers. It's like, it's us against the world.
Yes.
I'll do every job role in this business.
Yeah.
Whereas once you've got 20 staff, 25 staff, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
Well, that's not my job. I'm not doing that. You know, I'm not meant to do that. And it's like,
finish at 5.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? It's like, fucking hell, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was mad. So there's that, really. But biggest challenge is, it's just everything. I'd say people and hiring is probably the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Cash flow is always a big thing as well.
Yeah.
And also, when you're the little guy, you can get a big contract with someone, and they are the ones that try and fuck you over the most. Like, I don't know how these big organisations want to tell you it's 128-day payment terms.
Yeah, dude, we had that with it when I had the supplement company. We had the biggest. If you can imagine, a high street train begins with an H and a B.
Yeah.
We had the thing with those, and they wanted like X amount of pallets, us to fund them, and then they wanted 120-day payment terms. And I'm like, we're just started.
Then they say your invoice isn't in, so it's on the next payment running like another 120 days. But it's like, you're killing us. But then even stuff like business rates, and that's the hardest thing I think for people. So the amount of tax I paid during that year that I sold the business blew my mind. And sometimes I'd sit there saying, like, I'm paying tax through the business, corporation tax, then I'm paying personal tax or whatever.
And then you can't even get a fucking wheelie bin.
Yeah, exactly. but it's mad, isn't it? It's like, I've employed 25 people from Warrington here, so that they're now all paying tax. And I've invented this business. Like, I've invented this product, and it's like, and it's very hard. And I think some employees don't understand the amount of pressure on you. Like, you almost have to earn triple, quadruple what employees think you need to earn to almost get the same amount of money back.
Yeah.
So
because I think what, and we talked to a friend of mine who owns a clothing company. They're in GD Sports and Foot Asylum and that, and he said one of the biggest mistakes he made was when he first started was that he thought all the money was his. Yeah. So staff could think all this money's coming into the business, but it's not actually ours as a business owner, is it?
No, it's mad. It's mad. So it was horrible paying 2 lots of tax when we did sell the business, because obviously you get walloped on your personal tax and you get walloped on the business tax.
Yeah.
And it's mad. Yeah. And then, because then I no longer was employed, trying to get a mortgage to buy a house.
Dude, I had exactly the same thing. I just sold the business that was the 3 years of accounts that you apparently need.
And it was like, oh no, you can't get. I was like, mad. It's just a weird kind of. It's a tough gig, really, and it can be lonely. And that's how come I always say, you want there to be like support for types of people and all that type of thing. Like the board you can't afford, just have other people, because also as well, your conversation with your friends. I don't know if you've noticed this, and some of them might watch this. I don't know, but people liked it when you were saying, "Oh, how's your business?" And you'd be like, "Oh, do you know what? I'm not fucking paying myself. I'm struggling. If we don't sell anything this month, we might have to shut the doors." Yeah, they like that kind of stuff. I don't mean like it's in the fucking revel in it, but that's oh right, that's interesting. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, when kind of with them, and kind of with them in that.
When I sold my business and got the money, then people started being a bit weird with me.
Must be nice. Must be nice.
Yeah. Oh, well, it's easy for you because of it's like, hang on, like I'm now paying myself what I should have been paid.
Business is a fucking risk, isn't it? Really,
exactly.
It's a risk almost every day. Yeah, because there's no guarantee of payment.
No,
ever.
I know, and it's just
no
mad.
Sick pay, no holiday pay.
But even I know this is an odd thing to say, maybe, right? So me and you are mates. We go on the fucking school run, whatever, and you might say to me, "Oh, my boiler's packed up. It's going to cost me 400 quid," and I'm like, "Oh, fucking hell, shit, mate." That's a normal conversation you might have with mates. "Oh, cam belt's gone on my car," or whatever. But now, because I've sold my business and you know that I've got a few quid, you don't want to talk to me about that thing because you don't want me to think, "Oh, are you asking me for money?" Yes. You're probably not. We're mates, or whatever. Yeah. But then if you do have that thing, and you do ask me, there's a chance that I might think, "Oh, you've mentioned this twice to me this week. Are you asking me for money?" So then there's a weird thing where you're both second guessing each other, and it's like it became weird, just normal conversation with me. Yeah. I had a mate that he had a $7,000 debt, and he was talking to me about it. Yeah. And then his missus said to my missus the same thing. Yeah. And then he mentioned it on the other time. Another time I was walking to school, I was like, and I was like, "Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that?" And it was like, as long as if someone could just give me that $7,000, I'd be able to sort myself out. And then it's weird because you've got to say no.
Yeah.
You don't have to say no, but it was almost like, but why would I give you $7,000?
Yeah.
To pay your debt or whatever.
You've already proven your shit with money.
Exactly. it was just like
now you're just going to be shit with my money.
Yeah, it was just a mad thing. It's like, when are you getting me that back?
Yeah.
But so it was a weird thing. So I don't know if you did the same thing. I started saying the same thing to everyone. I need to speak to my accountant. So I never would answer anybody straight away. I need to speak to my accountant because all my money's tied up. It's all in investments. And that would always give me it. I'd never have that.
Buy yourself time.
And then like a day or two later say like, oh, we can't. It's been ring fenced for X, Y, Z. That's what I used to say. But equally as well, I know this will sound like a dick thing to say. Having 2, 3, 4, 5 million at age 28, 29, 30, 31 or whatever, that is not enough to retire on. It's not like 5 million quid in the 70s or 2 million quid in the 70s.
Dude, that's crazy.
You leave your money in the bank.
Dude, that's crazy. That's not enough to retire on.
Right, let's say you've got £1 million quid. Let's just say £1 million quid. And I hear this a lot when I'm out and about. If I had £1 million quid, I'd do this, right? You put £1 million quid in the bank, you might get like 0.5% interest. Yeah. So what's that, like $5,000 a year?
Yeah, something like that.
But you spend more than $5,000 a year now, don't you?
Yeah.
So now you're eating into your £1 million quid.
I spent that on petrol coming here, bro.
Yeah. But it's like, so then it's like, oh, well, you can just live off the interest. You can't live off the interest. You can't live off $5,000 a year. And then it's like, but equally now you've got £1 million quid. You'll probably buy yourself a house or a car or whatever.
$5,000 a year, you'll get your fucking balls taxed off as well, probably.
But this is what I'm saying. So it's like, that's all it is. But then you start eating into it. So if you just go, if you pay yourself $100,000 a year, it's only 10 years. But that's if you're not spending anything.
Yeah.
But then you're going to go on a nice holiday. But then if you're spending like $10,000 on a holiday, well, you've just used like 1 month of your money already. So you can burn through money so quick.
Yeah.
And that's another thing that I wanted to let people know. It's like £1 million quid isn't as much as you think.
No.
If you've got money coming in every month,
I think it's because you never see that. You never see that 1 million quid like in one go.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That was a surreal moment, like seeing that money drop in my bank account. Yeah. That was honestly like checking your online banking. I'm a Halifax. It took like 2 hours longer for me. So all the other lads are like saying, "Oh, look at this! I can't believe it." And I was like, "Oh, what the fuck?"
Shit.
But it's mad like that. Pretty much, I live on less money now than I did when I worked in a business.
Really?
Yeah. So I used to pay myself the last 6 months of the business that I had. I paid myself $10,000 a month, not to be a dick. It was like, because that was money I didn't pay myself in the first 18 months. It was almost like, this is this month's salary, and the salary I didn't pay myself like a year ago. Yes. So I was almost like double bubble pretty much. Yeah. That was an easy number to understand, and it was a far happier number to have than someone just dropping 2 million quid in your account and saying, there you go, don't come to work on Monday, which everyone thinks is the dream. And I know you've had Tyson Fury on. Yeah. When Tyson Fury went on Joe Rogan and explained how he felt when he won the world titles, that was exactly how I felt by the Wednesday after getting the money on the Monday. It was almost like, oh shit, what do I do now? Like, what am I? Yeah. What do you do for a living? Yeah. How
did you deal with that apart from going to Success Resources?
I found it hard. I went and applied at estate agents in Warrington 2 weeks later just to go and work in estate agents.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I wanted to learn about property. How mad's this? I said I'm happy to go commission only. And that made him nervous.
Really?
They're like, I don't get it. Like, why would you not want the $2,000 a month salary?
Yeah.
And I was like, because I'd rather just get paid more on what I sell. That the learning was worth more to me. And I don't mean this to mean I didn't need the money. Yeah. No, I was going to negotiate a better commission package. Instead of paying me 5%, pay me 10%. Yes. But then basically pay me on my results, which is a tip to anyone that wants to run their own business. If you're confident enough in your ability and you can do that, negotiate that at your business now. Because then you'll see if you can run your own business when it's on you. Yes. So I just said, and people wouldn't employ me because I didn't fit that, I'll just take the money. So then I applied to a couple more places and no one was interested.
Holy shit.
But the first place I went that was interested in me, I said, I don't want the $2,000 a month basic. Yeah. I just want commission only, but just give me a better commission rate.
Shit.
So I will work harder for you. And they're like, well, we want you to turn up at 8 and leave at 6. Yeah. And I was like, no, you pay me on my results here. So what I wanted to do was, my plan was, weirdly, when good properties came up in Warrington that fitted my idea for investing in property, I was, I'll buy that. Yeah. We can telesales guy. Oh, what, you want to say house? Yeah, I'll buy that. Yeah, hold on. That was the plan. I can cut out the middle, man. Yeah. That was my actual plan. Yeah. And but yeah, no, it never came about. So, but how did I cope with it? Not very well, if I'm honest. I would say I've had a steady decline, and if it wasn't for what I'm doing now in the last sort of 6 months, fuck knows where I'd be. I was like in a dark place, really, just because, and it was the loss of purpose, the loss of a clear goal.
Yes.
There's loads of stuff out there telling you.
I suppose you've gone from, listen, when you build a business like that, there's a lot of work. There's no switching off.
Yeah.
You don't clock
it's your
in and
life,
out.
innit?
Yeah, it's your life, and then suddenly it's gone.
Yeah.
And what do you do?
And people think that money replaces that, but it doesn't. You've still got the same fucking problems in your head. You've just got now more time to think about them.
Yeah.
And more money to...
Well, do you know, I talk about anxiety and
get
panic
over
attacks a lot. Yeah, and I think that anyone that has a business, and in fact, I think anybody that creates any kind of anxiety, the great problem solvers, now you've gone from solving probably, if you think about this, probably like maybe 100 problems a day in your business, and now there's like, have I emptied the fucking dishwasher? That's like...
Oh, exactly, right. I would post letters or go to the fucking Royal Mail post office on my lunch break, shoot in, shoot out 15 minutes. Yeah. Now, that was my one job for the day. It took like 2.5 hours to put, like literally I can walk there in about 2 minutes and be like, get a shower, get dressed. Yeah. Walk down, I'll go the long way around, a little stroll. And it was like, that's what have you done today? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I should have probably got a personal trainer and got in shape, but too much hard work in it. Yeah. If only there was a pill I could take. Give me the results.
There'll be about 3,000 personal trainers listening to this right now.
Yeah, I get loads from that sector saying, you need to investigate this personal trainer.
Really?
And that's the weirdest thing. Other people now taking my entrepreneur formula and then gone, this guy's a bullshit, that guy's a bullshit.
This guy's taking steroids. Yeah.
Well, this property is the one that seems to have took to what I'm doing the most. There's like ethical people in property that hate the scammers. Yeah. And so that's where I get most of my love and hate from. Yeah. But fitness is another one.
Is it?
Yeah, I always get asked about, what about this guy? He's using the same tactics. Well, you'll get it. Yeah, you'll see this one. Yeah. You've got guys there telling you how to, you're a PT, I can 6-figure your income by getting 100 clients a month. They probably never...
High ticket. It always says the word high ticket.
Yeah, they probably
Work
never
from anywhere
had...
in the world.
Yeah. They probably never had any clients.
No.
You're their only client. They've probably never been a PT.
Nah. That's like 99% of all the PTs listening will be fucking loving this.
Yeah, but it's true, isn't it? It was weird. I got, is it Ben from Gymshark? They've done well for themselves.
Oh,
recently.
Dude, yeah,
good lad,
Francis. Yeah.
So there's Ben and there's Noel, and it's weird how it's like, because I'm not a social media guy. I'm not, but it's weird how people that I sort of admired or had watched their business from afar, from like a business perspective. Yeah. It was that video. So Ben sent me a DM on Instagram saying, "Do you know what? We've watched your entrepreneur formula in our offices. We think it's brilliant." Yeah. I mean, they could send me some fucking clothes if they wanted to. I don't fit.
Well, what I'm wondering is, were you talking about getting Ben on the podcast?
Yeah, it'd be a good one to have.
Yeah, we'll see if it will be great. That
But it's so he was one, and then I'd get loads, and it was like, oh wow, you're people I've seen on TV before, and you're telling me. It was a weird kind of moment where it's like, oh wow, people. Lots of people are seeing this, because I don't know if you think of this. I don't think of a view as someone actually watching my stuff, not a real person.
Followers are the same. I'm like 40,000, 20,000.
If you think that in a football stadium, if you stood in the centre circle, like you might have more followers on social media than some of these biggest brands in the world have got. Well, football clubs. Yeah. And that bit blows my mind, and I've never been recognised or anything like that. Until like recently, I've had but it's like, oh, I've seen your video, and when they start telling you things that you've said, and sometimes I think, oh, I talk a lot of shit anyway, I don't even believe half it. I say, or I changed my opinion on it in 6 months' time. But they're saying, do you remember in 2016 when you said that thing on that video? Yeah. Which it's like, oh, it's a different world now, isn't it? It's it's mad, the internet, isn't it?
Dude, it's crazy. Oh, dude, it's mad. Like that thing with the dogs is mad. You just get like. I think people think they can get away with saying what the fuck they want to say as well. Do you know what I mean? It's you get a lot of wild. So what's the maddest thing that anyone's ever said to you?
So someone said to me, it was mad. So I wore a Superman outfit to an event, just like taking the piss. And at 3 a.m.
I'm a bit disappointed you're not in one right now. I'm honest.
At 3 a.m. I got a message from someone saying, "I would love you to come to my hotel room. Make sure you're wearing the cape."
Oh my god!
Yeah, and that woman was maybe in her mid-60s.
Wow.
Then I saw her the next day at the same event.
And you're actually
at an event. So overnight. So she's obviously seen some of the stuff, been a fan.
Yeah.
Seen like in the gear or whatever. Sent that message at 3 a.m. Then I've had to basically sit 4 fucking seats down from her.
Shit.
So my response to that was, a little bit too much wine last night, was it?
Yeah.
Make a joke about it, and then that's it. That's one of the weirdest things.
That is weird.
And then a lad messaged me, and he'll know who he is if he watches, because it's a funny. Weirdly, I've speak to him sometimes now.
Yeah.
And he said, "Oh, I love your stuff. It's a 2-day event. Where are you staying?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, I'm staying in a hotel or whatever."
Yeah.
And he goes, "Do you mind if I meet you up for a drink with you?" And I said, "Oh, I'm not being funny. So I used to live in London for 2 years when I went to uni. So I said, I don't even get to see people that I know in London when I'm working. So I'm not going to meet people I don't know." That sounds a bit shitty, but I ain't got enough time to see my mates. I'm not going to see someone I don't know.
Yeah.
And he was saying, "Oh, no, I don't want you to think it's anything like that." And I was like, "Anything like what?" And he went, like, like I wanted to like bum you or whatever. And I was like, oh, right, so this legit is conversation.
Dude, that's a very old one thing.
Get on this, right? Yeah. So I go, "Oh, I didn't think it was that." And he's like, because I know, like, you're straight, aren't you? And I was like, yeah, like, And he goes, "But I think you're spaghetti." Have you ever heard this phrase? Spaghetti?
No.
I was like, "What the fuck's spaghetti?" He went, "You're only straight till I warm you up."
Oh my god!
So that was it. Apparently, I'm spaghetti.
Wow.
But the maddest thing about that was...
What temperature are you right now, by the way, just in case?
It's getting warm. But the maddest thing about it was, I'd never heard that. And I said, I actually responded, like, fair play to you for being fucking ballsy.
Mm-hmm.
But where is this word spaghetti? So I've used that spaghetti like line a few times. Like,
I'd have this kid on my sales team.
Yeah,
I think it'd be amazing on the phone.
But yeah, so spaghetti, and he's a good lad. But they're probably the two weirdest things I've had. But that was like non-entrepreneur related. It was just from like seeing you online or whatever.
Yeah.
But the maddest one that I have seen was from one of Grant Cardone's resellers, 10x, a 10xer, telling me he knew where Winnet Towers was. So I take the piss. I say that the building I'm working is called Winnet Towers, and that I fly from Warrington Airport. We haven't fucking got an airport. And he said, "We've booked tickets from San Francisco to Warrington Airport, and we're going to come and cave your head in.
Sure.
Uncle G is going to bring the thunder, whatever the fuck that is, 10x thunder." So they were coming over, and my response to him was, if you genuinely know where Winnet Towers is, and you've booked flights to Warrington Airport, by all means, I'll stand there and let you lot do it.
Nice.
It's like you're looking for a non-real person at a fake address at an airport that doesn't exist, mate. I don't think you've done your research here.
Dude, that's amazing. It's a funny old... and you said before about that whole criticism online. Is there something you're ever... Like, you're clearly not fucking worried about it, are you?
Nah, not really. It's like... No, like... Realistically, most people aren't going to do anything. And it's the same when people criticise footballers at their own clubs. "Oh, he's a prick, I hate him," whatever. Yeah. If he was in your local shop and you saw him, you would get a picture with him.
Yes.
9 times out of 10, you wouldn't do anything. Yeah. So not worried about that. Yeah. Plus, my brother's quite hard. So it's, I just get my little
That's what I'm like with Mac.
Yeah.
I'm like, mate, come down to the office anytime you want. Mac will fucking sort you out.
Yeah, exactly. So my brother fights now. So like, I'm not that arsed. But also as well, the biggest thing I noticed about YouTube, or the most comment I get the most, is you've got a bum chin.
Really?
Now listen, I never realised I had a bum chin until I got YouTube. I've gone through my whole life not realising.
I didn't realise you've gone through. I've looked in the mirror every day of my life.
And I've never realised it. But now it's like you can do a fucking 45-minute, well-researched, deep dive, investigative journalist piece on crypto mining with your real results, poured your heart and soul, and someone goes, "Oh, you've got an arse on your face."
Wow. That is...
And the maddest thing is, I don't know if they think, it bothers me, because it doesn't. It's like... I went to school with this chin. Like, I've had to... Like,
I'm just glad you noticed. I'm glad you noticed.
It's just mad. And it's like, there's that, or I'm not going to bite, because it's not even... It's not... Number one, it's not funny.
Yeah.
But also, it's not offensive either. It's like a...
It's just a weird thing to see. We had two
guys
at the weekend. We got a video up of me interviewing Tyson Fury, and they're like, "Oh, I hate that guy's voice." Not Fury, the other one. Like, me fucking voice.
Yeah.
Really? I actually responded to this one. I said, "Sorry, mate, I'll make sure I change it just for you next time."
Do you get, is it Aaron Chambers?
Aaron Chalmers.
Yeah,
he trains with us.
Oh, I was going to say, do you get that a lot, though? Because
I do.
You sound a lot like him, and obviously got a similar vibe.
I do. Yeah. He's just a lot younger than me.
Yeah. He's doing all right as well. Fair play to him.
Aaron's also, we've been trying to get him on for months.
Yeah.
When you coming on, bro?
Big time now, isn't he?
Hey, I'll tell you what I do know. He's the nicest smelling man. Mac.
Is he?
He smells unbelievable.
Yeah.
Even when you'll be sweating all over you, but even his sweat smells nice.
I want to say this about him, right? So he is the perfect example of someone that has grasped an opportunity when it's come to him. Yeah. And you can't criticize him, because there'll be MMA fans that think, he only got on... Is he on Bama? He's still on Bama?
He's on Bellator.
He went Bama first, then Bellator,
yeah,
didn't
Bellator,
he?
yeah.
But it's like, he's only on there because of who he is. It's like, but he's still got to do bits as well. He's still got to do the thing. Like, yeah, that's opened the door for him, but that door will be fucking slammed in his face if he's getting knocked out.
Well, that cage, he's fighting.
Exactly.
He's fighting.
And you'll know this as well. It's the loneliest sport when you're in there. Like, losing at football, I mean, we got dicked by a shit team at the weekend. Yeah. And but you can take it. You can take it on the chins. But you can take it and just say like, well, do you know what? I've done all right here, or it was a mistake.
It wasn't my fault. Yeah.
But when it's fighting, there's another man that is better than you, and that's what it comes down to. And that can
even then, he might not be better than you. He might catch you with a lucky punch and spark you the fuck out.
Yeah, but you know what I mean, though.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, but for that moment in time, it's like, do you know what? Like, I've made a mistake. They've capitalised. I've given that opportunity or whatever. So,
well, do you know as well? We've had. He's trained with us for.
But I like him. Do you know what? Geordie Shaw, what they do, they get a fucking discount code. They go on Instagram, they get a few followers. Yeah. He's not done that. No. He's done the bits like that to do that, but he's now gone and done something that's probably one of the hardest things he can fucking do.
Yeah. Well, why give him shit? That we've had on, he doesn't even do the discount code at all now. He's in property. Yeah. Like buying legit properties.
Yeah.
And Aaron, though, is... I've heard this... Loads of people criticise him, saying he shouldn't be doing this and that. But what you got to understand is that there's a guys... He's bringing a completely new set of fans to watch
they
MMA.
They streamed it on Facebook, didn't they? I remember one of his early fights.
He did one in Newcastle Arena, and 2 lads from our gym fought on it. Mm-hmm. And they got on a show in a fucking arena that they would never have got on unless it was for him, unless it was because of him. Yeah, exactly. Like, because he filled the arena with people.
It's mad. And so it's weird with criticism.
I think there's one guy, Sam's also had a fight on Fame MMA, right? He basically fought another kid off Geordie Shaw, right? Yeah. It was fucking mad. And then my one kid,
I saw that they got like celebrities to fight.
That Harvey fought on it and that. Yeah. So Sam fought on it. He beat another kid from Geordie Shaw who weighed in like a stone overweight. Yeah. Like, that's a phenomenal amount of weight to weigh in overweight. Anyway, I read all the comments online. And one of them was like, it was a boring as fuck fight. You should have just smacked him. Yeah. Like, mate, he's took him on the ground. He's fucking... We always end up talking about fighting. Yeah. He's took him on the ground and dominating him. But that just goes to show how, like, there's anybody that leaves comments in the comment section is like clearly doesn't have a fucking Scooby. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I was talking about it in the week to them guys. So I got criticised the other day. There's a boxer now that's fighting in America, and his nickname's White Chocolate. I don't know if you've seen him. He's only a young lad. He looks like Logan Paul.
Really?
Blonde hair. Doesn't look like a fighter, and he does like the floss and that when he knocks people out. But he's fought 4 fights, 4 knockouts, first round knockouts and that. Yeah. And people are going nuts over him. But when he throws his left hand, he drops his right hand. Yeah. Right. And so I made a comment saying like, if he saw it's got like a technical problem there, if when he goes to a higher level, he needs to he might get clocked. Yeah. So that's because I'm a massive fight fan. Yeah. I've watched my brother fight. Yeah. I've trained lots of times. I've fought a few times when I was like younger, teenager. That's why my nose is fucked. But I'm not a professional fighter, right? And then the first one was, you fat fuck. Show me a link to your professional fights. I've not said he's a bad fighter. I'm not saying he doesn't know how to fight. Yeah. The kid can punch for his weight. Yeah. Like, he's knocking people out and stuff. Yeah. But when someone throws if someone throws a left hand and goes like that, and then through his left hands, someone else needs to have spotted this. I'm not. Yeah. It's like it's not even critical. He's a good fighter. Yeah. He can bang and just say, he needs to tighten up that right hand when he throws his left. And I got so much shit from it.
It's mad, isn't it?
But then I thought, am I now the same person that I criticise? Do you know what I mean? Yeah, but then it's like people jumping on Dylan White now. Dylan White's overrated, and this is a genuine comment I saw. Dylan White's always been overrated, and I just wrote by who? That's all I wrote. I said by who, and he went people, and I went people like the WBC, WBO, IBF, who? Yeah. And so, well, he's not top 20, and I went, so all these organisations that rate him in the top 5, they're all wrong. They don't know shit about boxing, but you in the YouTube comments know. So I said, can you just post me your top 20 rankings? Yeah. Nothing from him. But it's the same thing.
I couldn't even name 20 heavyweight boxers now, and I'm a big boxing fan.
Yeah, it's like 5 or 6. Yeah. People knowing that.
That's it,
but it's mad, isn't it?
So, dude, I always like to ask this question. I'm kind of sure I know the answer, but I love asking it anyway. What do you do to fucking switch, get away from business? What's your thing?
To be honest, I've got kids, so it's pretty much like dad's taxis as soon as I finish work. Go home.
How old are your kids?
9 and 5. So I'm taking 1 football, 1 ballet. We're swimming.
I've got 9 and 7.
Yeah, just mad, isn't it? So it's that really, and then I've started playing football this last few weeks, mainly for my mental health, to be honest, just to get me out, be around lads again, and that. Yeah. I'm not allowed to fight because I had an operation on my nose, so I'm not,
I thought you were
not even allowed to
I
spar.
thought you were going to say your missus told you.
No.
I've had that already.
So I'm not even allowed to spar, because if I shouldn't say this in case someone does come up, fly over
What
to
about that guy
whatever,
from San Francisco that weren't an airport?
Yeah, so if I break my nose, whatever, I've had, is it a septum removed?
Broken. Oh, have you had it removed?
Yeah, because I damaged my nose sparring before a fight, then still fought with a broken nose.
Oh, shit.
For a draw as well. There was absolutely no point having the fight.
Yeah.
There was no point.
So you can't even get punched in the trumpet anymore?
No.
Oh, shit.
Which is mad. So even playing football sometimes, when the ball's in the air and it's a header, I'm thinking, I go up with my arm now, like.
Well, dude, I remember I once broke my nose 6 days before a fight and didn't spar, didn't fight, and I went to the hospital. Dude, I was 37 as well. I took my mum right to the hospital because I thought. My mum was like, they're straightening for you at the hospital. And they basically said, are you still going to box? I was like, well, I've only just started a year ago. And I said, yeah. And they were like, well, just go home. 'Cause apparently when they do that, it just softens all the thing. Yeah. It gets worse and worse and worse.
So mine healed in a weird, like, twisted way, so you could see it looked weird, like a bogey hanging all the time. It's like, so my bone was sticking out of my left nostril.
Really?
So then it's set in that position, and then I couldn't breathe. So if I went underwater and tried to breathe air out my left nostril, nothing came out. So I was struggling in that. So then I went. Then they said, oh, yeah, we should have sorted that out a year ago. Yeah. So they let it set for a year when I said to them, this isn't right.
Oh,
so
shit,
then they've had to break it again and then remove it. Also, like now, my nose is so weak inside.
Oh, fuck. Can you, like, squash it in there?
Yeah, it's like, it was such a mess. But and that was so... it's just a mad thing. So football is now the thing that I kind of do.
11 aside?
11 aside. I said, listen, I'll just come down and train. I don't want to play. First game, they said, you're starting. And I've played like 7 games. I've started every game.
Really?
But I'm not good, by the way. I'm terrible. Yeah. And I'm the ones where if you want to sub, I'll come off at any moment.
Yeah.
Or if
I like that all the time. Lads.
They do rolling subs now.
Really?
Yeah, for 11 aside, which is mad. So, like, literally.
So you can just go off, take a breather, and come back on?
I play the ball down the line, roll myself off, and tell the right back to get on. You just go up there and roll on up there. So pass the ball to myself in theory.
Shit.
So
shit.
But yeah, so I'm doing that.
That's what I started doing. I remember I hadn't played football for about 7 years, and I started playing again. But dude, after a game, I couldn't walk for like fucking 4 days.
Struggle.
Yeah, it's brutal. And do you know what? Here's what's mad. I was talking about who was I talking about this with? I think it was Martin Stapleton this morning, ex-Bama world champion Martin. And we were talking about I get less injuries doing jiu-jitsu every day than I did when I played football. I get less injuries fighting than I did when I played football.
But you know what it is as well in that though? You've got people in that gym, like as much as you're trying to hurt each other, you look after each other and you know what you're doing. Yeah. Sunday league football, you've got lads there that have probably 3-4 years past their peak or their prime. And
3-4 stone overweight.
Yeah, that used to be decent at school.
Yes.
And trying to snap your leg, and it's like to them they want a story to tell their mates in the pub, like, oh yeah, I crashed into that lad, not realizing that person's just like you. They're a mechanic. They
gotta
whatever.
Go to work.
So, and you know, there's lads breaking their legs in that on Sunday league football because some fat prick just wants to try and not make a name for himself. And I've got a mate that lives where I live now.
Yeah.
Ex-footballer,
yeah,
and he said he doesn't play Sunday league football. He wants to because he likes to be around the lads and that. Because he tried playing, and in 20 minutes he was absolutely snapped by 2 centre midfielders on a Sunday league team because of who he is, because they know him.
Really?
Because he's well known. So he can't even do the thing that he just loves playing because you want people to make a name for themselves. Just so they can say, I snapped whoever. And same with rugby league in Warrington.
Yeah. Well, dude, Aaron would have had a bit of that going to gyms, I bet. I always think that about them when you go to a different gym, or they're trying to fucking beat you up because of who you are and that, like give you a bit of a pace then. Yeah,
it's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's mad. My brother says that when he'd be sparring that, he'd see like gym warriors sometimes like trying to, because he'd had a few fights, some of the young lads that want to spar and want to make a name for themselves. It's like, we're here to learn in a weird way. And that'll be why you don't get injured in jiu-jitsu, because most of you will be trying to learn and help each other rather than I'm going to smash you about.
Yeah, that we were talking about that this morning. Like one of the things in our gym is just be a good training partner. Don't be a fucking moron.
But it's the same thing as well. Like you can all throw a punch hard if you want to. You could all be horrible and like, you know, drop your knee on the neck if you wanted to. But you don't, because you wouldn't want anyone to do that to you either.
Yeah.
I've trained at a gym once, and they wouldn't let their fighters spar, so they wouldn't spar for a fight.
Really?
Yeah, but then in the ring they'd be unreal.
Oh, that's mad. Which
is mad, isn't it?
At our gym, I know for lads that are having a fight, Mac will be able to tell us, like Monday's sparring day, innit? Like, so he's like, I don't want you sparring on a Friday when you've trained all week. So I want you to take Sunday off, maybe Saturday as well, and spar on a Monday when you're fresh and you're not going to make ridiculous fucking decisions.
Yeah.
Which is fucking smart, really, innit?
Yeah.
So, Mike, Winnet, mate. I've had a fucking blast. Thank you so much.
No worries,
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Cheers.
Mike, by the way, before you go, where could the guys who are listening in find out more about it's LinkedIn for you, right? LinkedIn, YouTube.
So YouTube's the main thing. So just search for Mike Winnet, which is like winner with a T on the end. That's it. So you know what Winnet means?
It's like a little bit of shit that's hanging off your arse.
Yeah, it's a shit surname.
Well, that's well, that's why I asked you. I noticed that you didn't reply. I sent Mike a voice note. I was saying, mate, just so I don't fuck up on the podcast, how do I pronounce your surname?
Yeah.
Is it Winnet? Winnet?
Yeah.
Winnet?
Yeah.
And it turns out it's not his real name.
No.
What a cunt.
Oh, no.
Cheers, Mike.
No worries.
Thank you, mate.